Your intuition is signaling danger before your eyes can see it, and for chosen ones, this is one of the most powerful forms of divine communication you will ever experience. It begins subtly, almost like a soft tap on the shoulder or a gentle pull in your spirit, something you can't logically explain but also can't ignore. You may feel uneasy around certain people even when they seem friendly on the surface, or you may sense an invisible heaviness in a place that once felt comfortable. This warning doesn't come from fear or paranoia, it comes from a higher level of awareness that has been placed within you. Your intuition carries the wisdom of every spiritual lesson you've ever absorbed, every betrayal you've survived, and every revelation you've recognized too late in the past. Because of that, the moment something feels off, it usually is. As a chosen one, your inner senses are sharper, more tuned, more spiritually informed than the average person, and this is not accidental. It's a protection gift that activates long before physical signs of danger appear. You may notice that your body reacts before you can form words for what you're feeling. Your heart rate changes, your thoughts become more alert, or your energy shifts without warning. This is your internal alarm system, the one that has been spiritually calibrated to pick up threats that others would overlook. Many chosen ones try to dismiss these sensations because they don't want to seem dramatic, judgmental, or overly sensitive. Yet that sensitivity is the very thing that separates you from those who move blindly through situations that harm them. You have been designed to sense the unseen, to perceive shadows before they take shape, and to feel intentions before they manifest. When your intuition tells you to pay attention, it is not a suggestion, it is a signal that something in your environment is misaligned with your safety or your destiny. You might find yourself replaying certain interactions in your mind, wondering why a simple comment bothered you more than it should have. You may notice someone's smile doesn't match their energy, or their words feel too calculated, too rehearsed, or too conveniently timed. You might feel drained around someone who once made you feel alive. These are not coincidences, they are warnings. Sometimes the danger is emotional, people plotting behind your back, masking jealousy as support, or harboring ill intentions that are directed at your spirit rather than your physical body. Other times the danger is energetic, a place that disrupts your peace, a situation that lowers your vibration, or an environment that quietly chips away at your inner clarity. And in some cases, the danger is literal, a physical threat you cannot yet see, but your intuition detects the early ripple of something approaching. Chosen ones often wonder why these feelings hit them so strongly. It's because your purpose is too large, your calling too critical, for you to be blindsided by harm. Your intuition steps in as an early warning system, a divine radar that scans the atmosphere around you and highlights anything that does not align with your path. This is why you've avoided disasters without ever realizing it, why you walked away from friendships right before their true intentions were exposed, why you declined opportunities that later became traps for others. The protection over your life is active, intentional, and deeply connected to your intuitive sensitivity. You may notice that these intuitive warnings come during moments of transition or spiritual growth. When you are leveling up, the universe becomes louder in guiding you toward safety. It will expose hidden enemies, reveal cracks in relationships, or make you feel uncomfortable in spaces that you once tolerated. This discomfort is a messenger, an indicator that remaining where you are could cost you peace, time, energy, or something much more valuable. Instead of trying to justify what you feel, allow yourself to trust it fully. Your intuition doesn't need evidence to be accurate. It simply needs your obedience to keep you aligned and protected. Sometimes your intuitive warning is not about a person but about timing. You may feel forced to delay a trip, cancel a meeting, or step away from an upcoming event without understanding why. Later, you discover that something harmful would have happened had you ignored the nudge. This is the kind of spiritual shield that surrounds the chosen ones. The universe will reposition you, delay you, redirect you, or even isolate you if that is what it takes to keep you out of harm's way. To the outside world, it may look like you're being overly cautious or indecisive, but in reality, you are being divinely led. What others interpret as hesitation is actually spiritual accuracy. Even dreams can play a role in this intuitive process. Chosen ones often receive symbolic warnings in the form of unsettling dreams, sudden images, or repeat messages that appear throughout the day. These signs are not to be brushed aside, as they often mirror what your spirit already knows but your conscious mind has not yet acknowledged. Your intuition communicates through these channels when normal methods aren't enough to get your attention. Every message you receive is part of a larger protection strategy over your life. What strengthens this intuitive system is your past. Every painful experience has sharpened your awareness. Every betrayal trained your instincts. Every disappointment tuned your perception. You have developed a spiritual intelligence that allows you to detect danger in its earliest stage. This level of sensitivity isn't something everyone possesses, which is why many people don't understand how you just know things before they unfold. They don't realize that being chosen comes with a heightened ability to sense shifts long before they become visible. Being different in this way can feel isolating, but it is actually one of your strongest defenses. As you move through life, the more you honor your intuition, the stronger it becomes. The more you ignore it, the louder it will get until you cannot deny what it's trying to reveal. Trusting this internal voice is not always easy, especially when you can't point to physical evidence. But you are not meant to wait for the danger to fully appear before you take action. You are meant to recognize the early signs, understand the silent warnings, and take steps to protect your peace, your spirit, and your destiny before anything harmful reaches you. Certain environments no longer match your spiritual frequency, and when you are a chosen one, this misalignment becomes impossible to ignore. It starts with a subtle discomfort, a feeling that the space you are in is shrinking while you are expanding. You may try to convince yourself that nothing is wrong, that you are overthinking, or that you simply need time to adjust. Yet the uneasiness keeps growing because your spirit is outgrowing the atmosphere around you. This is one of the clearest signs that you are evolving, shedding old layers, and stepping into a higher version of yourself. What once felt familiar now feels foreign. What once gave you comfort now drains your energy. What once aligned with your past no longer fits where your destiny is taking you. This shift is not random, it is a signal that your journey requires new spaces, new people, and new vibrations that match the level you are ascending to. You might notice that the conversations around you feel repetitive, shallow, or disconnected from your inner growth. The topics that used to engage you now leave you feeling empty because they don't feed your spirit anymore. You may find that people you've known for years no longer understand you the way they used to, or they interpret your transformation as distance or arrogance. They don't realize that you're not pulling away out of pride, you're simply rising into a frequency they cannot hear. When your soul elevates, not everyone can rise with you. Some people are only compatible with earlier versions of you, not the one you're becoming. And when that happens, the environment that once felt like home becomes a place where your light flickers instead of shines. Energy is a language, and chosen ones are fluent in it. You can walk into a room and instantly feel whether the atmosphere is uplifting, heavy, chaotic, or stagnant. This sensitivity is not a weakness, it's a compass. It tells you when you're in a place that drains your spirit, when the energy around you is clashing with your inner peace, or when you're surrounded by people who operate on a frequency lower than your purpose. The misalignment feels like emotional heaviness, spiritual suffocation, or a quiet sense of being disconnected from yourself. It's not that the environment is inherently bad, it's simply not meant for the version of you that is emerging. Staying there too long can cause your growth to stall or your clarity to fade. As you rise spiritually, your tolerance for negative energy drops. Gossip that once entertained you now irritates your soul. Chaos that once felt normal now feels unbearable. People who thrive on drama suddenly feel distant from your path. Even habits that once brought you comfort now feel like they're holding you back. This is because your frequency is shifting into alignment with your purpose, and anything that vibrates lower than that purpose begins to feel foreign to you. The universe will make certain environments uncomfortable on purpose so you won't settle in places that can't support your next level. This discomfort is not punishment, it is guidance pushing you toward growth. Another sign of this misalignment is isolation. You may notice that you are spending more time alone not because you want to, but because the spaces you used to occupy don't feel right anymore. Your spirit needs room to breathe, to reflect, to grow without interference. The isolation is a sign that your energy is recalibrating. The silence, though sometimes uncomfortable, becomes a sanctuary where you can hear yourself clearly. In these quiet moments, you may begin to recognize how much certain environments were affecting you without your awareness. You may realize that being around certain energies made you anxious, distracted, or spiritually exhausted. The moment you step away, your clarity returns, and you begin to understand just how misaligned you were with that environment. When your spiritual frequency rises, you also begin to attract different types of experiences. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach suddenly start appearing. Ideas begin flowing effortlessly. You feel a stronger sense of purpose and direction. This is because you are no longer being weighed down by the energy of environments that were beneath your calling. The universe responds to alignment, and when you remove yourself from places that no longer serve you, new doors open. Your gifts become sharper, your intuition becomes louder, and your path becomes clearer. You start to feel more connected to yourself, more grounded, and more ready to embrace the changes happening within you. However, this transition isn't always easy. Leaving behind environments you've outgrown often means letting go of people, routines, and comfort zones that have been part of your life for a long time. The familiarity of old spaces can create a sense of attachment, even when those spaces no longer align with your spirit. You may feel guilty for wanting to move on, or you may fear that stepping into new environments will leave you isolated or misunderstood. But this fear is temporary, whereas your growth is permanent. Staying in an environment that no longer matches your frequency will only dim your light. Your purpose requires spaces where your gifts can flourish, where your peace is protected, and where your energy is valued rather than drained. Some environments carry unspoken limitations. You may feel small in a certain place without knowing why. You may sense that you cannot express your true self around certain people because they are threatened by your authenticity or growth. You may find that your dreams feel too big for the room you are in, as if the walls themselves are whispering that you are meant for more. These limitations aren't reflections of your ability, they are reflections of the environment's capacity. Not every space is equipped to hold the magnitude of your calling. When an environment cannot support your growth, it becomes a cage instead of a foundation. As a chosen one, you are meant to move with the flow of divine timing, not settle in places that shrink your spirit. Your frequency rises when you heal, learn, evolve, and become more aligned with your true purpose. The environments around you must rise with you. When they don't, the misalignment becomes clearer each day. This is why you feel restless in certain places, why your spirit grows quieter when you enter certain rooms, and why your energy feels depleted after interacting with certain people. These are indicators that your environment is no longer supporting your elevation. Your growth is not accidental. It is intentional, guided, and necessary. The environments you choose to remain in will either nurture that growth or hinder it. And when the universe nudges you away from a space that no longer matches your frequency, it is because something greater is waiting for you somewhere else. Walking away now will protect your destiny from hidden attacks, and for chosen ones, understanding this principle can mean the difference between spiritual clarity and unnecessary setbacks. Every decision you make, every path you choose, has ripple effects that extend far beyond what your conscious mind can see. The universe works in subtle ways to guide, protect, and sometimes redirect you from dangers that are not always obvious. These dangers may not appear as physical threats but as hidden attacks aimed at your energy, your focus, or your purpose. They may manifest as manipulative individuals, toxic environments, or seemingly harmless distractions that quietly drain your strength and divert your path. What your intuition is telling you when it signals walk away is that remaining in that space or situation could compromise your alignment with your highest potential. It is a call to prioritize your spiritual safety over temporary comfort, familiarity, or social obligation. Hidden attacks often come wrapped in subtle forms that are difficult to detect. A smile can mask betrayal, a friendly word can hide jealousy, and a familiar environment can carry patterns that subtly undermine your growth. These attacks are rarely overt, they exist in the energy, the intentions, and the unspoken agendas that surround you. Chosen ones are uniquely sensitive to these vibrations, and your spiritual discernment is what allows you to recognize danger before it manifests into something tangible. The warning signs can be feelings of unease, sudden mental fatigue, emotional turbulence without clear cause, or a persistent sense that something is not right. When you honor these signs, you are activating a spiritual shield that protects your path, your purpose, and your destiny from being derailed by unseen forces. Walking away is not always easy. It may require you to leave behind relationships, opportunities, or environments that you have invested in emotionally, mentally, or even physically. You may feel guilt, fear, or doubt, questioning whether leaving is the right choice or whether you are overreacting. But the universe has a way of preparing chosen ones for moments like these. Your intuition, combined with your spiritual discernment, acts as a compass, guiding you toward decisions that maintain your alignment. The courage to walk away is a form of empowerment because it prioritizes your long-term growth over temporary discomfort. Choosing to remain where danger or misalignment exists can delay your progress, drain your energy, or attract situations that threaten your clarity and purpose. Hidden attacks often target your vulnerabilities. They exploit areas where you are growing, evolving, or asserting your independence. For chosen ones, this means that as your light becomes brighter and your energy more refined, those around you who cannot operate at your frequency may react in ways that attempt to diminish your strength. This can take the form of subtle criticism, undermining comments, or passive-aggressive behavior designed to shake your confidence. These attacks are rarely obvious at first. They are woven into interactions, environments, and experiences that, on the surface, seem harmless. Walking away, in this context, is an act of protection. It is a conscious choice to remove yourself from circumstances that could quietly chip away at your clarity, your purpose, or your spiritual well-being. There is also a timing element to hidden attacks. Often, the universe will place you in situations long enough for you to sense misalignment but not so long that you are irreparably harmed. Your intuition acts as an early warning system, signaling when it is time to step back, detach, or exit entirely. By listening to this inner guidance, you are able to avoid situations that would otherwise consume your energy, distract you from your calling, or create obstacles that are difficult to remove later. The act of walking away is not avoidance, it is strategic preservation. It allows you to protect your focus, your energy, and your future opportunities from forces that are not aligned with your highest good. Walking away also protects your mental and emotional health. Hidden attacks often work subtly, creating doubt, anxiety, or confusion. They can make you question your worth, your decisions, or your purpose. Over time, these attacks can accumulate, eroding your confidence and clouding your clarity. By stepping away, you establish boundaries that safeguard your emotional and spiritual equilibrium. This boundary setting is essential for chosen ones, as it ensures that your energy remains intact and that you are free to operate from a place of strength, wisdom, and higher consciousness. It is a conscious refusal to participate in dynamics that threaten to derail your spiritual and personal evolution. Sometimes walking away requires discernment and patience. Not every challenge or uncomfortable situation is a hidden attack, some are tests meant to build resilience, teach lessons, or refine your abilities. The difference lies in your ability to sense alignment versus misalignment. When a situation feels persistently heavy, toxic, or obstructive despite your best efforts, it is a sign that the environment is not meant for your continued presence. Choosing to walk away does not mean abandoning growth, it means choosing a path that allows growth to continue without unnecessary interference. It is an act of wisdom, not avoidance, and it protects the sacredness of your journey. Walking away also creates space for blessings that are aligned with your purpose. When you leave behind people, places, or situations that threaten your alignment, you make room for opportunities, relationships, and experiences that resonate with your frequency. The universe has a way of replacing misalignment with alignment when you are willing to step out of what no longer serves you. Hidden attacks lose their power when you are no longer present to feed them, and your life begins to reflect the higher vibration you are striving toward. The act of walking away becomes a catalyst for transformation, a demonstration of faith in your own discernment, and a protection of the divine plan that is unfolding for you. Your destiny is precious and fragile in ways that require constant protection. Chosen ones are entrusted with missions, purposes, and paths that extend beyond the ordinary. Hidden attacks are inevitable in a world that does not always understand, recognize, or honor your calling. By walking away when your intuition signals danger, you maintain the integrity of your path. You shield yourself from manipulation, distraction, and energy-draining influences. You preserve your focus, your clarity, and your capacity to step fully into the life, purpose, and destiny that has been divinely orchestrated for you.